Welcome back to the channel.
Today we're gonna go try a new restaurant down at Red Rock.
Leoncito.
So come get lost with us.
If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe.
We made it to Red Rock. Now let's go inside. Alright, now that we got a seat, let's take a look around. So for drinks, we both got margaritas. I got a passion fruit margarita with sugar on the rim, and I'm gonna give that a try. Now, this is like a mezcal tequila. I'm not the biggest fan of the mezcal tequila because it is that smoky, like warm, burny feeling in your throat, but the flavor profile is not bad. It is pretty tasty, and yeah, it's really not that bad. But again, I'm not like a big like mezcal tequila girl. I just like my Blanco tequila. But let's see what Gary thinks about his drink.
First thing I'm gonna try is my margarita. I got the classic margarita to try because I figured why not. One thing I do notice is that it's not salted all the way around the rim for some reason. It's only partially salted around the rim. Awesome. Let's give it a try. It's not bad. Now they offered a difference between the mezcal and the regular tequila, though that tastes very mezcal to me. It's got that very smokiness to it. Then you get a little bit of that lime in there. It's not a bad margarita. I did get the double. Nacy got the single, so that's why we have two different sizes too. Not bad. Now we got some apps to try, so I'm gonna try some of those.
So I am going to give Gary's massive margarita here a try. Yours isn't as smoky as mine is. I feel like mine definitely has a little bit more of that smoky burn, but it does still have that little bit of aftertaste, like afterburn after you swallow it.
Well, it's cheap tequila.
Yeah. It's not the good stuff.
I'm gonna try the passion fruit, Nacy's passion fruit. Honestly, if you drink it with the little sugar rim, it's less smoky than if you just drink it out of the straw. I like it, actually. I like yours too. Honestly, both of the margaritas are good. I wouldn't say they're the best I've ever had, but they're really decent margaritas. So we've got some apps coming out. We'll come and get you when they get here. First thing I'll say is the chips definitely look like store-bought. Definitely not made in-house. And they're a little bit stale too. But let's give them a try. Alright, we got a red salsa. Got a little bit of smokiness in there. Nice hit of the tomato, cilantro. It's not a bad red salsa. Now let's try the green. Now, just so you know, my preference is typically red salsa. So I like green salsa, it's just I prefer red most of the time, but I'll give it a try. So the green definitely seems a little smoother tasting wise. You definitely get a hint of that cilantro and lime in there. It's pretty good too. Honestly, the salsas are really good. I just wish they had chips that were actually made in-house instead of store-bought chips. So let's see what Nacy thinks about the salsa.
There is complimentary chips and salsa here. There's a red salsa and a green salsa. So we are gonna start with the red. Not bad. It's not spicy. Not like really overwhelming like flavor profile or anything like that. It's just a basic salsa, but not bad. Alright, next one I'm going to try is the green. That one's a little bit more zesty. You got a little bit more lime in there. It's a little bit thicker consistency than the red one. The red one's a little bit more thinner consistency. They're both really good. I will say though, the chips definitely make me think of like Tostitos chips. They don't taste like fresh in-house made tortilla chips. Definitely feeling like they're store-bought. Next up, we've got some guacamole. So let's see what we think about that. So next up we have the guacamole, which comes with cilantro, red onions, cajita cheese, pickled onions, and corn chips, which again I think are the Tostitos. But I'm not really sure how these are supposed to be shareable apps, but okay, flavor-wise, it's pretty tasty. The guac is fresh. The pickled onions definitely give it an interesting tang to it. It's not bad, but I honestly have to say for $12, there's not a whole lot there. Yeah. So it's a little disappointing in that regard. This restaurant definitely, after looking at the menu, is very pricey, very expensive. So I'm interested to see how big the entrees are when they come out. But let's see what Gary thinks about these appetizers.
I'm gonna try the guacamole. So it's supposed to be a shareable side. Super tiny, first notice. It does have some cojita cheese on it, which is kind of different. And then pickled onions, which I've never really had I've never really had guacamole with pickled onions before. So it's definitely a little bit different for around here. Let's give it a try. Not bad, a little bit spicy. You get a little bit of that jalapeno in there, a little bit of cilantro. The avocado is nice and smooth. The pickled onions give it an interesting sort of kick in there too. It's not too bad, but it's really small for the price. So we've got some main dishes coming out in a little bit, and we'll come and get you when they get here. Here is what the majority of our chips look like, nice and destroyed. The salsas aren't bad, but the chips definitely could be better. First thing I'm going to try is my street corn. Now I did get that for a side. That was an extra fee, just so you know, ahead of time. Legit tip there. Let's try the street corn. So it's not bad. The strongest flavor that I have coming through though is butter. So it tastes like a really buttery corn. There's a little bit of cheese in there, and then there's a little bit of that cilantro. I would say very little of the cilantro. It's not bad, but it's more of a buttery corn than it is a street corn in my opinion. We'll see what Nacia thinks when she tries it. But next, I got some shrimp tacos to try. All right, so I got the shrimp tacos. One thing I'll notice is that there's like I guess it's blue, maybe it's purple. The lighting is really bad in here. Maybe it's a purple corn tortilla. It doesn't say that on the menu, so just know that going in. Let's give it a try.
Take your time. I mean, when you're ready, just place all the way to the side. I know you're ready, my girl. Yes, ma'am.
So I want to preface this with, I've never had blue corn tortillas. So for all you that are going to hate my review here, they are super dry. The blue corn tortillas are really, really, really dry. The fried shrimp is really tasty, and the slaw is a little bit spicy. So know that ahead of time if you don't like spice, this might not be for you. The slaw is good, the shrimp is good, but the tortilla is really, really dry. So I'm not sure if I like it a lot. Let's see what Nacia thinks about her main course.
So I got the filet. I forgot the exact name of it, but basically it is a filet steak with adobo and chimichurri. So it sounded really tasty. However, I was not expecting the presentation to be this tiny. So, cheers. It's very tender. The flavor profile is not bad. However, I will say this, it is not hot. It's actually maybe tepid, warm at best. So I'm not really a super fan of the fact that it's not very hot, but the steak is very tender, and it does have a really good flavor to it. I'm not sure if it's everything I thought it would be. Next up, I got the Papa's Chipotle, so it's basically fried potatoes with Chipotle sauce. Not gonna lie, I think this might be the best thing I've had. And it's just potatoes and Chipotle sauce. But it's pretty good. The potatoes are nice and crispy. The Chipotle sauce is nice and spicy, and it's kind of a little bit creamy as well. Overall, definitely probably one of my favorite dishes. Let's see what Gary thinks about trying my stuff, and I'm gonna try his. And we'll come back in just a second.
Giggity. I'm gonna try Nacy's steak. Now, the one thing I will note that Nacy said that I totally forgot to say on mine too is mine did not come out warm either, which is kind of weird. It's not busy. We're the only people here when we got here, and yet the food's still not warm when it got to us. So, but I'm gonna try the steak. Okay, interesting. Now, it's supposed to be medium rare. It's not, it's more like well. And the flavor profile is kind of strange. It's very tomatoey for me. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just not what I would expect from a steak. Now I do have some potatoes that Nacy got, so I'm gonna try those in a sec. These are the potatoes Nacy got. Now they're basically just potatoes with hot sauce. They look good, they smell good, but again, not warm. The potatoes are good. The sauce gives it like a creaminess to it and a little bit of spice there. So the crispy tacos are really spicy. This is probably a little bit spicy, not nearly as spicy as the spicy shrimp tacos that I got. Not bad overall. I kind of like the potatoes. They're pretty good. They have a lot more flavor than the street corn, that's for sure. So if you're gonna pick between the two, definitely go with the potatoes if you want some flavor. The street corn is very, very bland.
So I'm gonna give these fried shrimp tacos a try. I definitely think they're more blue. I have a little better lighting on my side than his side. And Gary's side is very dark, and mine is slightly better lit, I think only because I'm getting a little bit of light from this angle. So, cheers. No. I'd say the flavor profile is definitely there. The shrimp are nice and crispy. The creamy sauce that they're in just gives it kind of like a light flavor to it. The slaw, nice and crunchy. It definitely is very spicy. I'm definitely getting a hit of spice. And yeah, I would have to agree with the tortilla. It's definitely more on the dry side. It definitely soaks up a lot of that moisture. So just be fully prepared to have something to drink as you eat this taco. Next up, I'm gonna try the street corn. So I really love street corn. It's definitely one of my favorite things to eat once I've finally discovered it and realized that it can just take corn to a whole other level. So let's see where we're at. Wow. Very muted. Like there's not even like salt. I think it needs salt. It's a very basic, very plain. A little bit of salt and lime juice can go a long way with this. I think it's got the good base for something to start, but it definitely needs a little bit more flavor to elevate it to that next level. So we're gonna finish up our entrees and we'll come and get you guys with our final thoughts.
Just wanted to put this on camera. So Nacy probably ate drank, I should say, not ate, a quarter of her margarita. She poured it into my glass, the leftovers, and this is how filled it is, and she still has a little bit left in hers. So they are about the same size, so don't let them fool you, just get the single. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say get the single, save yourself some money because it is a little bit of a ripoff. So for dessert, we got the house special bread pudding. That is like a traditional bread pudding, but it's also got a bunch of like bananas to it. So it's like banana flavored with like a caramely sauce, I think. So we're gonna give this a go. Cheers. That's pretty good. It's actually warm. The flavor is good. The ice cream feels a little frozen. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty tasty. Let's see what Gary thinks.
Give this bread pudding a try. It's not bad. The bread pudding is very like... Sorry, the ice cream is really frozen. The bread pudding is very creamy with that caramel on top. You got the freeze-dried bananas that are added to it. It's not bad. And then the ice cream. It's a pretty standard ice cream. It's not bad. Would I recommend getting it? I don't know. We'll see what the price is at the end, and then we'll make that decision. So we'll come and get you in a minute with our final thoughts. All right, that concludes our meal here at Leoncito. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't the best food I've ever had, but I will say this. I feel like the prices don't necessarily match what you're going to get. So keep that in mind if you do want to give this place a try.
Yeah, I would skip it. Lucky Penny is the best we've had at Red Rock, and that's still kind of our go-to here. This was disappointing. Everything's supposed to be shareable, but they're tiny portions, and the flavor wasn't there. Everything came to the table lukewarm. Just wasn't a great experience.
Yeah, so the dessert was kind of eh.
I would pass on the dessert, folks. I would not get the dessert.
And the drink situation was interesting. Like, don't do the double. Just get the single and save yourself the $10.
The margarita was good. The potatoes were good. Those were the two good things. Everything else was kind of on pass. So maybe come here for some drinks. But again, get that single, not that double.
All right, well, if you guys like this kind of content, make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Hit that subscribe button.
And make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified when we release 3 videos a week.
And we'll come and get you all for the next one.
Ain't that the truth, baby?
Bye, everybody.